Welcome to R&R, Relationships in Real Estate. I'm your host, Chris Silva, and this is my beautiful wife, Corey Silva.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here on R&R. Chris and I are the owners of Silva Realty and Silva Lending, and we've been in the real estate and mortgage industry since the early 2000s. We're super excited to have you all here today. It is the second week of August.
I am so excited. I got ants in my pants.
Oh my gosh.
So let me just tell you guys, first let me say hello, Monica.
Hi,
Thank
Monica.
you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us.
So
I missed you yesterday.
So this morning, you know, you're doing your thing. You're downstairs with Santino. He's our early riser.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to do a drill today to try to get Nola up a little bit earlier.
Well, we prepared her last night. We said, it's time. You have one more day before school starts. You need to have a test run tomorrow. We're waking up early, like as if you're going to school.
So I'm upstairs with Nola trying to get out of bed, and I feel like, I don't know what's happening downstairs, but it's all chaos downstairs. Like, oh my gosh, oh no, I can't believe it. Oh no, you did it. Like all these things are coming out of Corey's mouth. I don't know what's happening.
I can't believe it. No, you did it.
I don't know. Anyhow, so I pick up Nola, I go downstairs, and we had an ant invasion this morning.
Oh, I hate ants. Ugh. I don't remember the last time we had ants in our house. Probably when we first moved in. And I just have been itchy all day ever since I've seen those ants, and it was like 20 minutes out of our morning just to get them out of there and eradicate them.
So, you know, it's so funny because right away I'm getting like the Clorox wipes.
Uh-huh.
Corey went for the bug spray, and I'm like, don't put that poison in our house. You get to go spray outside, right?
Of course, yes.
So I'm cleaning it up, and it literally was 20 minutes because they're everywhere, right? And then I'm going outside taking stuff in the trash because we're just not going to use it anymore, like some old fruit, whatever. Anyhow, then I saw a dead roach outside too.
Ooh, what is going on, Orkin?
So I think it's karma because I had like a nice
Almost threw up in my
nostalgic moment last night. I saw Starship Troopers. I don't know if anybody's seen that before, but I used to love that movie when I was a teenager.
Uh-huh.
It's so terribly good. Like, it's a cult classic. If you haven't seen it, you got to see it if you're into sci-fi. But it's basically humans versus bugs. Mm-hmm. So I just thought the bugs are after me now.
Oh my gosh.
They were invading our house for sure.
He just told me about the roach thing, and that kind of really grosses me out. It's disgusting. Okay, I'm calling Orkin after the show. Got to get him out there and make sure these ants do not come back. It ruined good thing it wasn't the first day of school, because the kids would have been late.
They would have been late for sure.
Anyway, so how are you all feeling? Are you excited that your kids have either already gone back to school, or that they're getting ready to go back to school? Have you had enough of them? Are you ready to just kick them out of the house? Like, get out of here, kids. Go to school.
And how was your kid's first day of school? Because I know a lot of kids went back on Monday, some on Tuesday.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, like, how was that first day? Are they happy with their teacher? Did they get some friends in their class? Like, it's parents out there know what we're talking about. Like, we're so worried about it, right?
I'm not really worried. I know our kids are going to be great. And I saw so many kids going back to school and all their cute little pictures. And some parents are, you know, a little worried on edge, and some are so happy to see them go. And I saw this one video of, what type of mom are you? Are you the mom who's like, oh, I love you so much, and you kiss your baby all over their face, embarrass them? I'm going to miss you all day. Or are you the mom who's like, peace, see you later, I don't even want to deal with you? Or are you the mom who's like, I better not get a call from the teacher today because you're being bad at school? I thought it was funny, all the different types of moms there are out there.
I know the group that we are. We're like that weird group that we have a group hug in front of the school before Santino goes in. This is the first year that we're having Santino and Nola in the same school at the same time. I'm really excited about it. I wish they were starting at the same time, but hey, you can't get everything you want.
They're not even getting out at the same time either, so.
But at least they'll be
at least they're at the same school, which makes me happy. And Monica said, I want them back. The house is too quiet. They had a wonderful first day.
Oh, I'm glad they had a wonderful first day.
I'm glad they had a good day. I miss you, girl. I'll see you on Thursday, hopefully at jiu-jitsu. So speaking of jiu-jitsu, Chris was finally able to go back to jiu-jitsu. When did you go? Friday.
I went,
and you went this morning.
Actually, I went on Monday.
That's right. How could I forget?
And then went again today. I want to get back to 3 days a week. So today I played a little hooky. I didn't make it to the elite meeting that I usually make it to. I also didn't do golf. I have to sacrifice both of those things if I want to go to jiu-jitsu.
Right.
So I'm telling myself, like, once a month, it's my favorite class, and it's only on Wednesday mornings. It's a no-gi class, so it's like grappling. Anyhow, favorite class. I loved it. I had a great time. It was worth playing hooky. Every now and then, you got to do something for you, right? Like it's important to have a me day or me morning, and that's what it was for me today. It was like my mental day. Like, all right, I want to feel good today. I'm gonna do what I want to do. So I went to jiu-jitsu. Thank you to everybody in class. Had some great roles. Always learning a lot, and I mean, pouring sweat too.
Well, good for you. I'm glad you had a nice, sweaty, all about you type of morning.
After you and the kids left, and it was all about me.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, I had a wonderful morning too. I spent 2 hours on the road getting kids their swim stuff that I forgot at the house. So it's been one of those fun mornings, and I'm just looking at the bright side, always trying to find that silver lining, and today is going to be an amazing day. So I just heard that Sonic 3 is coming out soon.
No, you're wrong. It is not coming out soon. It's coming out December 20th, 2024.
Oh, hey, it's coming though.
Yeah, Tino's going to have facial hair before this movie comes out. I don't know if he's still going to be into it. He probably will. He really digs
He
Sonic.
will.
And it's cool because Nola digs Sonic too.
Yes.
And it's a movie that I've seen a couple times because, they've wanted to watch it more than once. Hasn't bothered me yet, which is pretty good.
I know, that's
to have
huge.
a movie play a few times and it's not, getting on your nerves. So they're doing a great job with that franchise. I'm glad they did that redo because at first they were saying that the first Sonic looked real creepy. So they had to reshoot everything with the Sonic scenes, and they came back with the perfect Sonic because people love him. They're
Who
really
else is
racking for it.
excited to see Sonic next year? That's a long ways away.
Year and a half.
Year and a half. So with back to school in full swing, you might be hearing there is a teacher shortage, which I've been hearing about that since before school
Well, tell
got
me
out.
about it.
So is it really a shortage, or is it just lack of pay for these teachers and respect? Because I feel like teachers are they don't get what they deserve, right? And so I think a lot of them have just walked away from their jobs and went to other places maybe. I don't know, but it's crazy right now.
So, and don't quote me 100% on this, but I know a lot of teachers here. We both do in Santa Cruz, right? And there's a couple different unions out here. The Hart School District, there's Castaic, there's a few of them. Now, I know that most of them, every 2 years, they have to negotiate a raise. They don't have an automatic raise. They don't have a cost of living raise every year.
Oh my gosh.
Every other year they have to negotiate. And I think the last time they negotiated, they got a 2% raise.
That's it?
Cost of living and inflation, if last time I checked, inflation was 9%. But usually it's a 3% cost of living raise. So the teachers can't even keep up with like basic goods, right? Like
Right.
groceries and gas and basic things. What really bothers me about this is, why do people move to Santa Cruz? Like, how do we get all our friends from San Fernando Valley? How do we get them to move up here? What do we tell them?
We tell them the schools are great, which they are. And what makes the school great is their teachers.
Is their teachers. So pay these teachers what they're worth.
I know. I don't get it.
They are a huge reason why Santa Cruz is so attractive to people outside of Santa Cruz trying to move here. It's
Correct.
because of the schools. So why wouldn't you take care of the most important foundational piece of that whole puzzle, which is the teachers, right?
Yes.
Pay these people. How hard is it?
Yeah, my mind is just blown. And that's why we love, volunteering in the classroom, because these teachers, they do need help, right? And when you get these supply lists at the beginning of the school year, at first I'm like, what do you mean I have to take supplies to the school? They don't have the basic things that they need to do lessons in the classroom. They expect the teachers to pay for all that stuff.
They do
It's
expect the
crazy.
teachers to pay for it, right? So not only do you not want to pay them, but then you don't give them all the supplies and resources they need. So now, and a lot of teachers, bless their heart, they'll come out of pocket and pay for it themselves. But thank God for people like you, the room moms, the room parents.
Or the PTA.
Or the PTA is amazing. I can only speak on PICO, right? Like,
Right.
They're amazing there. So anyhow, usually everybody steps up and they do pay for that stuff. The parents do, right?
Correct.
With the PTA. So we're going to continue to do that every single year as we follow our kids, through their education.
I know, you have to. So how many of you are involved, like, with the school? Are we just crazy? Because we like to do stuff like that. Drop a comment below. And then how many of you are first-time parents sending your kids off to school?
Oh,
I don't know
boy.
if Christians and Jocelyn are here today, but Juniper is going to school for the first time.
Oh, that's right. And
next
when does she
week.
start?
She starts next week. So
week.
I'm just wondering, like, what their thoughts are. But excited to send them off to school so they can learn a little bit more.
It's fun. It's a good time. I'm excited to I like seeing all the pictures, right? You've seen all the stories and stuff.
Yes.
So if anybody follows me on social media and you saw my story yesterday, it was a couple pictures of Corey. Beautiful. I thought they were great pictures
well,
of you.
thank you.
I don't know if she never likes pictures that I post about her. I post of her. But it was paying homage to Olivia Newton-John, who passed away.
I know, it's so sad.
That was like your favorite movie growing up was Grease, right?
Still is. It's one of my favorite movies. And poor thing, she like fought cancer for a very long time. So
yeah, it's tough. I mean, I remember. So if people don't know, I'm going to be 42 this year. I've been dating Corey since I was 16. Wow, right?
You old.
So Corey was a great parent before we even had kids. She would help me with my siblings and she would babysit them for me while I was like at work or doing something. And because I was like the dad for a lot of years. And I'd come home and she was watching, I don't know if Christian remembers this, but Christian and Evelyn, my two youngest siblings, are 10 and 11 years younger than me. She'd always be watching Grease with them. Do you remember that?
Yeah, they love Grease. Lulu loves Grease. Evelyn's here, actually. Lulu.
Oh,
she
she's
says,
here.
Hey, guys. It's my favorite movie because of Corey. Here, let's watch Grease.
But then you hear some of the lyrics in there.
I know. I mean, it's very inappropriate for kids, but that's okay. My mom let us watch it all the time when we were little and then would I didn't really understand all the innuendos and what they were saying.
Any kids listening right now, just hold your ears. Doesn't he say in one of the songs like,
oh, yeah, please don't say that word.
P-Wagon?
Yes.
I'm like, what? And that's like on regular TV.
No, when they aired it on TV, they wouldn't play that part.
Oh,
and the reason I know this is because my mom videotaped, she recorded with the VCR whenever they showed it on TV. And that was a version I grew up watching. So it didn't have like a lot of the breakout songs, like when Rizzo goes and sings and then the P-Wagon. And then when I watched it later on in life, I'm like, Mom, how did you deprive me of this all these years? I never got to see these parts.
I never realized how ridiculous I was, how ridiculous I looked until I saw Travolta in the movie playing baseball, because they used to wear my hat like that. You had the hat like down here, you couldn't see your eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was like, okay, I'm never wearing my hat like that again. After I saw how ridiculous I look on the show. But I love that show too growing up. It was good. I think guys didn't really talk about that they liked it.
Of course they did.
I loved it. It was great. Danny Zuko.
Zuko. So just to show you how big of a fan we are of Grease, Santino's middle name is Zuko, and it's from Danny Zuko.
So the deal was I get the first name. Corey could give him whatever middle name she wants, and that's what she did.
Oh, I love it.
Santino Zuko.
Oh, man. Well, rest in peace, Olivia Newton-John. So, I don't know. Did you want to touch more on that? Are we good?
No, I believe we're good.
Okay, I believe. So Chris continues his Star Wars journey with Santino, and they finally started watching Clone Wars, the TV show.
So I got to talk about this because if you go on the Disney Plus channel or Disney Plus, you could watch the chronological order of Star Wars. And I didn't realize there's so much content on Star Wars, you guys. And I'm learning so much, and I'm actually enjoying it. Mm-hmm. My favorite part of watching it with Santino is he cuddles me the whole time.
He's so sweet.
He's laying on me, back of his head's here. I got my arm under him. He's holding onto my arm, and we're hanging. That's my favorite part. So I'll watch as many shows as he wants. Mm-hmm. But we skipped Clone Wars originally, and that's after the second movie, which is Clone Wars, I believe. Could be wrong. Anyhow, we skipped it because it was like 12 seasons or something, and they're like 22 episodes on each season. I was like, there's no way we're watching all this.
Sounds like a lot.
Sounds like a lot. So we saw Revenge of the Sith, and then we jumped into Han Solo because that's the order. Han Solo was so terrible. I mean, so god awful that Santino was just like,
I'm done.
I don't want to watch this anymore, Dad. I'm done. He goes, what's the point of this movie? There's no point in this movie. I'm like, really? I think the only point of this movie is it introduces Han Solo, the young Han Solo, and Chewie. But all right, you saw them. We're good.
Let's move on.
So I had to go back into Clone Wars to get him ignited again to want to continue watching Star Wars.
Right.
And it worked. And you know what? I'm hooked now. So I don't know how to say all the names properly. Like Santino knows all the names of the characters.
He knows all the names.
So, what we did too, which was stupid, it was on my part. before Han Solo and after the Sith, we saw Bad Batch, which we're all out of order now, right? So now we're going back and we're watching these Clone Wars and we're seeing all these characters from like Mandalorian, from Boba Fett, from Bad Batch, and we're seeing all, and then it's all starting to like come together. Like, oh, cool. So I'm really excited for Ahsoka Tano, I think is her name. She was Anakin Skywalker's Padawan, which is like his apprentice. And that's Rosario Dawson. She has her own show coming out pretty soon.
Ooh, how cool.
And she's quickly becoming my favorite Star Wars character. She's pretty amazing. And Santino's as well. And we're like digging her.
Awesome.
You got to watch a show and you'll see what I'm talking about. I think Nola's going to get into her too because that girl is bad. Let me tell you. She's my favorite character, I think.
Chris gets so excited talking about Star Wars. I love it.
We're geeking out for sure. I'm total geek mode. I'm not embarrassed to say it. I'm a Star Wars junkie now. I love it. When you can find something to, do with your kids,
Yes.
you do it. So I'm all in. I do jujitsu because of our kids.
I know. And you were doing Pokemon Go, and I was driving them all around town so I could catch Pokemon. And I'm like so happy that they've kind of moved away from the Pokemon.
Oh, me too. I'm happy we're done with Pokemon.
I don't know how many times I had to drive to Newhall just to get some extra balls so they could catch stuff.
We spent way too
And
much money on
spinners.
Pokemon too.
It was a lot.
It was all it got us through COVID though.
It sure did.
Through the lockdown.
Oh, Monica said, OMG, Santino and Zoe would have a blast talking about Star Wars. She loves Star Wars. Oh, yeah, they're going to have a lot of fun. She loves it. That girl has everything Star Wars. She has all these little Lego sets and collector things. She's really into it.
I'm not a fan of the Legos. They get everywhere. You step on them. They hurt. The kids are like kind of doing them, but I'm not really pushing it. I'm like, all right, you guys want to do something
I'm
else?
like, use your imagination. Use that hand-eye coordination. Yes, do it, please. It'll keep you quiet for a while. I love it. Better than any type of like getting on a device. Just go and play with those Legos. Hi, Angel. We missed you
Angel.
too. We got good news the other day that they're coming out to visit us in October. So we can't wait to see our family that moved off to Texas. Come on back, y'all. So Monica said she's really good about keeping her Legos together. Thank God. Yeah. Oh, you have to. There has to be some ground rules when it comes to Legos.
Yeah, I know
When you're
Monica doesn't
done,
play it either.
You pick them up, you put them away. Oh, yeah.
I can see Monica like, oh, I found one Lego. They're all gone. I don't know if that's what she does, but I know Monica doesn't play.
She does not play. So speaking of Star Wars, we've also decided on our Halloween costumes. We tried to go to the Spirit Halloween store, but it's not open yet. I thought you said it was open. We got so sad when we showed up there and the doors said coming soon.
I got the news from What's Up SEV.
Ah, false info.
But it wasn't for the Stevenson Ranch location. It was for like in Canyon
That's
Country. So maybe
why.
Canyon Country is open already.
Okay.
But we're excited to check it out. We make a big deal about Halloween. I wasn't really a Halloween guy until we had kids.
I know. It's so much fun. We love decorating. We love scaring people. This past year was great. We had some people get scared on our front porch. And so now we're just trying to think about what we can add to
The spiders.
keep people on their toes. Because, everyone who's already been to our house, they're going to know about the jumping spider, right?
They might forget though.
I don't know. I don't think they will if they got frightened that bad the first time.
I mean, we told people about the spiders. Like we were worried about our friends coming to our house. They have a newborn baby, and we're like, "Hey, the spider's gonna jump out at you. Just want to give you a heads up because we don't want you dropping the baby."
they still got scared.
Knew it was coming. Still got scared.
We
So
got to do something that's really going to get people. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I know it's bad. I shouldn't get excited to scare people, but it's Halloween. I mean, it's part of the tradition now,
it's
right?
right around the corner.
Yes. So Scott Heron's here. Hey, Chris. Hi,
What?
Scott.
All right, so this is Scotty Too Hottie. So I got to tell a quick story about Scott. I haven't seen Scott in 20 years. Scott knows me from the gas company,
Oh, how cool.
right? So like, I think we started around the same time, and he was just so much better than I was. Like, it takes talent to do that kind of work.
Oh, my gosh. Yes.
Scott's like the man. I think he has a cabinet company now, I believe. But anyhow, he was really way too talented for that job. But yeah, we used to be on crews together and work. And one day we're driving down Ventura Boulevard, if anybody knows the valley, right in between like,
He said, oh, no.
He
Great.
says, oh, no. So
Here goes Chris.
so I got to tell you about this bet that I made with Scott. We're driving down Ventura Boulevard, and it's between like, let's say Van Nuys and I don't know, Balboa. And one of the buildings, if you drive by today, it's still there. It has a ladder pushed up against the building, and there's like fake people on the ladder, right? So we would make stupid bets every day about like who's gonna pay for lunch.
Right.
So I tell Scott one day, we're driving down, I'm like, Scott, I bet you lunch that these guys are still gonna be on that ladder when we get back, when we drive back after this job. He's like, no way, dude. There's no way they're gonna be there, right? So we come back. They're still on the ladder. They're still there right now, Scott. I bet you they're still there. So anyhow, that's my buddy, man. We used to play pranks on each other and stuff. Love that guy.
Oh, they had so many pranks at the gas company. Oof, I don't know how y'all made it through there, but I heard some funny ones. Oh, well, thanks for joining us, Scott.
Blast
Glad
from
to
the
have you
past.
on here. So Thursday this past week, we've been talking about school and going back. Nola had her, it's kind of like a placement or like an assessment at school. She met with her teacher and got to find out, like, you know, how well she's doing in school, if she knows her ABCs or 1, 2, 3s, all that good stuff. He said, "Yep, they are. The guys are still there on the
guys
building.
are still on the ladder right now."
And then after that, instead of going to jiu-jitsu, we ended up taking the kids shoe shopping at the Nike outlet, right?
Yes.
Only because Nola's ear had still been bothering her. We're like, you know what? Let's just hold off on her going and rolling around and
Right. We're
possibly
being
injuring
precautionary.
herself. So we ended up going to the Nike outlet, and I was thinking, oh man, everything's picked over because it's back to school.
And it was because
It was. There was barely anything.
There was
to
a mom
choose
that was
from.
like, "Well, good luck, because there's nothing here, right?"
Yeah,
Girl, you don't know how to look.
That same mom had her kid trying shoes on in the aisle, taking up all the space. Kid, you need to go to the little end cap where there is a place to sit. About to slap your mama for not telling you where to sit to try on
Wow.
shoes. I was irritated. Like, get out the way.
Wow. Okay. Great role model for these kids.
I didn't say that out loud. I was thinking that. You know,
No,
everybody's thinking the same thing. Like, get your kid to the end cap. That's why they got benches there to try on the shoes.
Yeah, I could go into this rant forever, but go ahead, continue.
So anyways, Chris and I were, he took over for Santino. I took over for Nola. These kids found so many pairs of shoes.
So I gotta tell you about Santino though, because so Santino's style is I'll wear whatever you tell me to wear. I don't care.
Yeah, he really doesn't
Doesn't care. He's been wearing the same kind of Nikes that like just have the flip over Velcro, no laces, since he was
They're
like
slide-ons.
since he
Yeah.
was a baby. Like that's been his go-to, right?
Yes.
So we have not got him to wear shoes that have laces or anything outside of that low top same shoe.
Yes.
So I just was curious. I'm like, hey, what about these? What about these? And he got like a couple basketball shoes, like some Kyrie Irvins and some like Kevin Durant shoes that are usually like $100 to $150 for adults. I don't know what they cost for kids.
Oh, they're up there for kids too.
Well, we like a bargain.
Yeah.
so-
I mean, I don't really know. I never paid that.
So
much
anyhow,
for
we had
shoes.
like 4 pairs of shoes. We got him shoes for the whole year, from 2.5 up to 4, because he kept saying he wanted all these shoes, and I was like, babe, you got to take some of these shoes out. Which ones do you really want? He's like, can I have all of them? And if you guys know our son, he doesn't ask for anything.
He's so simple.
He's
he really
so
doesn't
simple.
ask for anything.
He doesn't ask for like toys or games or anything. He's just such a good, easygoing kid. We're like, okay, so we got the different shoe sizes so he can at least grow into them and it'll be shoes for the year.
Yes.
But can you guys believe that we got, I mean, like I said, Kevin Durant's, Kyrie Irving's, and I don't know what the other shoes are, $25 a piece.
I know,
$100
so
for
good.
4 good, solid pairs of shoes.
I know. It was amazing.
Oh, I feel so good to get a bargain.
You sound like me.
So satisfying.
I know. It is so satisfying when you get a good deal. Oh, I love it. So,
I also picked up some pink, like some fuchsia shorts.
and Nola got some really good shoes too, right?
Yeah, honestly, I know it's terrible, but I don't even remember what she got. I was so like wrapped up into what Tina was doing.
Yes.
Usually it's the other way around. I'm like focused on Nola, but you had it covered. I was like,
Yeah.
you got this.
So they got some really good things. Speaking of bargains, we're like, you know what? Let's go see this house over here. There was a listing that's been on the market for a while.
Oh boy.
And we're like, hey, kids, you want to go look at a house? And because they're used to it now, like they like to go check out open houses and whatnot. So I said, let's go see if it has any potential, right? Maybe we could get a good deal on it. It's been on the market for like 3 months now.
I think longer.
I think longer too.
It's an open door listing. Those guys are terrible.
I know. So we went to go take a look at it. And man, I mean, I don't know about you parents out there, but do you always remind your kids to use the restroom before we leave? I was like, please.
We're religious about it. Like every time we're about to leave the house, we're like, kids, go use the bathroom before we leave. Oh, we just used the bathroom 5 minutes. I don't care. Try again.
Try again.
Always.
We're like the guy on the commercial who's like, we know where there's a bathroom and we know how to use it. That's like what Santino tells me now. So
Oh my
Scott
gosh.
said, Chris found some old cheese puffs in the gutter and put them where?
Scott, did you eat those cheese? I think you did eat those cheese puffs. I totally forgot about this, by the way.
Where did you put them?
I think I think I act like I was eating them, so Scott could ask me if he wanted, like if he could ask me for some, and I gave them to him, and he ate. I think he ate these cheese puffs out of the gutter. You know what, Scott?
That
I totally
is
forgot about this.
disgusting.
We used
You're
to do some-
horrible.
We used to do some wild stuff to each other back in the day. Mind you, we're like 20-year-old kids, on the truck, ready to eat. It tricked me into growing up.
That is horrible. You're lucky you didn't get sick.
You should see this. Scott would get sushi from the liquor store, like.
He's fine then.
His stomach was like an iron. He was fine. He's a tank. But I forgot I did trick you. I forgot about that, Scott. I tricked you into eating those cheese puffs. Karma. Something's gonna happen to me today. Now that
That's
now that
all
I think about
right.
this.
Scott, you don't know how many times Chris has eaten spoiled food. Like
So many times.
he should know. Like at my parents' house, my mom is like notorious for buying like big amounts of things from Costco, like those muffins that you know you're not going to get through a dozen muffins within 3 days if you have a family of 4 or 5. And so I knew like you better always check your food before you put it in your mouth because for sure there's sugar on it, right? Chris would always eat those old rotten muffins.
You know
and
what it
find
is?
out at the very last bite that there was mold on it.
Does anybody else do this? So like when I eat my food, I don't inspect my food. Like I'm not looking at my food every bite. So I'm eating it, and that last bite, like I'm gonna savor that last bite. So that last bite, I'm picking it up, I'm looking at it, I'm about to put it in my mouth. I'm like, oh shit, there's fur on this. That's happened to me like 3 different occasions. So Scott, the karma gods have paid me back.
Yes.
I guarantee you that it was like tenfold what I did to you. So I apologize. But he was such a good sport about it. Like we never got angry with each other.
Did he ever
like,
get you back?
I'm
Or
sure-
that you know of?
I'm sure he got me back. We used to play pranks on each other all the time. So I got to tell this quick prank. Pull off the green. Oh, I don't know what he's talking about right now.
Oh, elaborate, Scott.
You got to
please.
elaborate, Scott. So I'm going to tell this quick story. We had this crazy guy. He was our crew leader. We were crew assistants. Usually it was like 2-man crews. We got to work on a big crew before though. But anyhow, this guy's name was Rhino. Everybody had nicknames, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tall guy. He's like 6'3", 6'2", something like that. I'm not that tall. First day on the job, we're at the urinal. I'm using the bathroom, right? You can't pull this stuff today.
Yeah.
It's like 20 years ago. So imagine your first day at work, you're a little nervous, right? You're on probation. You just want to make it. He peeks over at me while I'm peeing, and he looks down and he goes, oh, that's a nice one. That's my first day on the job, right?
Oh, wow.
The guy's hilarious. He was actually my favorite crew leader to work for. That's a whole other story. But anyhow, he's kind of the one that started these pranks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So don't ask me how somehow a dildo shows up to work, right? And this dildo's going everywhere. Like it's a prank that's just keeps on
Oh, boy.
giving. So Rhino used to drive this Jeep with no doors, right? And nobody would prank Rhino because nobody wanted that smoke. You just don't want to have
Yeah,
that
'cause he'll
blowback.
come back, like,
he'll come back
tenfold.
harder, right? So anyhow, I get the dildo and I put it on the passenger side visor and I close it up. Because I know Rhino's never going to sit there, right? His wife is going to sit there. Renee. Sorry, Renee, if you're watching. So like 3-4 days later, he comes in. Now, if anybody knows like union jobs, we're all sitting like in a mess hall together. Like there's like 100 of us in there, right? In the morning before we break to go to our jobs. Rhino comes in super loud, talking over everybody. You mother effer. Who the F put the dildo on the visor, right? Screaming and yelling. It was me. And I didn't tell him for the longest because I didn't want none of that smoke.
No, of course
But he
not.
said he was out. He's like going on a date with his wife.
Oh, it was a date
They're
too.
driving.
It wasn't even
You know,
just a drive.
She's getting ready to do her makeup. She puts down the visor to get the mirror. Bam, dildo falls right on her lap.
That is funny.
Yeah, I'm every now and then I have my moments.
Don't ever get a Jeep with no doors because someone might set you up.
Scott said Rhino was awesome. Scott, we got to hook up after the show. I'm going to reach out to you. And then I actually hooked up with Rhino like 9 months ago, so we'll catch up.
Oh, that'd be awesome. So we kind of touched base a little bit about this. What were we talking about? Showing the open house, and we got onto that.
Yeah, somehow we got it. So we got onto the bathroom, open house. Scott popped up. So
Yes.
But anyhow, going back to this open house, we told the kids to use the bathroom. We get in there, of course, like
Nola
right
has
when
to
we
go
start,
number 2.
not number 1, number 2.
Mommy, I got to go number 2. It's a vacant house. There's
No
no
soap,
toilet paper. There's
No
no
toilet paper,
Oh my Lord.
nothing.
Good thing we keep wipes in our car and I have hand sanitizer because I'm like, girl, really? Why? So yeah, she did. And then about 5 minutes later after we finished that up, Tino had to go too. So that nice vacant house.
No, didn't we make it back in the car and then he said he had to go?
No, he had to go. And then when we left, Nola left her water bottle at the open house. So we ended up having to go back there.
She left evidence at the scene of the crime.
You just
So
don't
we had to
do
come
that.
back later. But anyhow, that house is still on the market. If anybody's looking for like a deal, it's on Smokewood. It's in the Enclave track in Stevenson Ranch. Now, most realtors aren't going to tell you this, but we got to tell you because we give you all the information. Beautiful community. Love it. It's gated. It's one of the few gated communities in Stevenson Ranch.
Yes.
Problem with that community is you're not part of the Stevenson Ranch schools. You're part of the Newhall schools, which are also
Oh,
great.
okay. No, they're still great.
But you don't have Pico or Stevenson Ranch Elementary.
Wiley,
You have
right?
Wiley.
That's still a great school.
And then you don't have, West Ranch High School. You got Hart High School.
which is a great school too.
I know, but people move to Stevenson Ranch. They think they're getting the Stevenson Ranch schools.
Right.
You don't get those there. So anyhow, that property's been on the market for 4 months. It's with Open Door. If anybody doesn't know what Open Door is, they will buy your home, which they were buying a bunch of homes last year and they overpaid for them. They're already down like $75,000 for more than what they paid on that house and what they're offering it for.
I'm sure they're pretty motivated to get rid of that.
But if you want a 3,200 square foot house with a view, need some cosmetic, like some updating, but you can get it right now. They're on the market for like $1,183,000 last I checked. I think it's going to sell for $1,000,001, which is a great price for that house.
Yes,
So if you're willing to do
absolutely.
some work, you want a view property that's in a gated community in Stevenson
Yes.
Ranch, right by the freeway,
No Melrose.
give us a call. We'll show it to you.
For sure. And we'll replace the toilets too, because, kids had to go in there.
We'll throw in a roll of toilet paper.
So on Friday, we continued with our tradition of going to the beach right after Chris did his jujitsu in the morning. And that was a lot of fun, going to the beach, relaxing, getting the ocean breeze,
Well,
chilling.
Also, we started taking our dog again. She was sick. She had like kennel cough, so we couldn't take her for like a month. So it's cool. Like, it's a little extra work taking her.
Yes.
So I thought I made out our usual parking spot wasn't available. So we went all the way at the very end. If anybody knows Silver Strand Beach, it butts up to Port Hueneme. So we parked right against Port Hueneme. And I'm like, oh, this is perfect. I never realized that there's like not gravel, it's like concrete, right?
It's a driveway for a parking lot that they have closed off right now.
So it goes all the way down almost to the ocean. So if anybody knows, like when you're pulling the wagon and you're pulling it through the sand, like it is
So
not fun.
hard.
My legs are burning. My arms are shaking. I got sweat coming down in my eyes. And there's sunblock in the sweat. Like, it's not fun.
Poor
right?
guy.
So-
I told him, why don't we get one of those wagons that you could pull in the sand? And he said they're like $500.
For the proper wheels. Like, this one was supposed to be for the sand, but it's not.
It's not,
It
no.
works better than the one that we had before, but it's still not that good. So I'm like, this is amazing. I am pulling it. I'm able to hold the dog and pull the wagon.
He's feeling all kinds of good.
I'm going all the way down. Like, we're getting to the shore. Didn't have to pull it through the sand. But then the waves were like crashing so hard there, and there was like a little sand wall that just naturally formed where the kids would usually play. And I could already see like the anguish.
I was so worried the waves were
nervousness.
going to like pull them out into the ocean.
She thought our kids were like going to be, like Moana, and the ocean's going to pull them out. So you were like Moana's dad, right? Like,
Yeah.
you were like, stay away from the ocean. So she's like, I'm like, let's just walk down, and we'll walk down to where the wall disappears and the kids have more space to play. It felt like a mile walk in the sand. It's like, I don't know what it's like.
Poor
to
guy.
I don't know what it's like to pull a dead weight, but that's what it probably felt
Oh
like. It felt
my
like I was pulling
gosh.
like a 300-pound man that's just laying there lifeless through the sand. My legs are shaking. My arms are
He was
shaking.
so sweaty.
I kept stopping, taking a breath. And then it was so bad, like, I had to walk by it, so many families, right? And the families are like worried about me, like, hey, you okay? I'm
Did
like,
they ask you?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm okay. Well, your family just left you in the dust, huh? I'm like, yeah.
They said that?
Yeah, one of the families were like, they just left you in the dust. I'm like, yeah, I'll get there eventually, So that's how it started. And then of course, like the kids don't give any shits that their dad just dealt with this 300-pound dead weight, right?
Come on, Daddy, let's build a sandcastle.
I couldn't even put the chair. I couldn't get the chair off the wagon before they were like, "Daddy, can you play with us? Can you build this sandcastle?" I'm like, "Baby, let me just have this. I'm gonna have a beer real quick. Let me get the right frame of mind." And then we'll play. So we did. We played a ton.
I mean, I know that was hard for you because my legs were burning and I was not pulling the wagon.
Your legs were burning.
Walking through that sand, we were walking far.
I do not want to hear it.
Well, then also Nola left her sandals right where we started. So we're like halfway down the beach and we had to go all the way back to go get her sandals. That girl is so forgetful.
Yeah,
she usually isn't. I think because of her ear infection, she's been kind of like off lately.
She's been off with her medication.
Poor baby. So Monica said, laugh out loud. That happened to me with the girls. We couldn't pull the wagon. It's horrible. That wagon is so heavy. Just gets stuck right in the sand. Yeah. One day I offered to help Chris and he was like, "You sure you want to do this?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm like pulling it and I was like,
that lasted
yeah.
like all but like 5 seconds.
I'm sorry for you, guy.
Santino too. Santino will be like, "Come on, Dad." Like he's so funny. So he's already making fun of me, right? Like he didn't really give me a hard time this time, but he's done it before because I'm taking breaks in the sand. He's like, I'm like, "You want to come and pull it?" "Yeah, Dad, I'll come and pull it." He could move that thing more than an inch. And he was like, "Nah, Dad, you're going to have to do
got this, Dad." You know what? I think we probably can get away without taking the wagon if we just put everything on our shoulders.
Hell no. It's going to be me like some dummy with all this stuff on my back like I'm in the military.
You're a donkey?
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'd rather pull it, take my breaks.
Help you. I
sure.
can put stuff on my back.
I'm sure that's going to happen.
We used to do that before we had the wagon. And then I have to wear the baby in the carrier. Remember those days?
Yeah, we took a lot less stuff.
Yeah. Well, what do we really take?
The cooler number one is going to be heavy all by itself.
Yeah, we got to make sure Chris has his beer.
Yeah, for sure. We're there all day. Why not?
I know. Monica said, "Oh, poor Nola." I know, our poor baby with her ear infection. Hopefully that is coming to an end. We had to do a few follow-up visits for Nola. For those of you who have been following, she had an ear infection. It turned out she had a ruptured eardrum. Poor baby.
Yeah, poor baby.
Anyways, Scott said, "Have you seen the coolest cooler?" No, I want to know what that's about. Does it have wheels for the sand, Scott? Because Chris needs
If
that.
it does, I'm bringing it.
He's going to go buy it. He doesn't even care if it's $500.
I mean, I do care.
But we don't even take that big of a cooler. It's literally like a handheld bag. It's not like
it's
one
not
of those
that
big
like
ones.
I take 4 beers, and I usually split them with Corey, so we're having 2 each. She's over here putting it on me, but we usually have a couple each. So nothing crazy, but we take a ton of water because we're there a long time. We want to make sure we stay hydrated. There's not that much stuff in the cooler.
That's what I'm saying.
'Cause we eat
We
dinner
could do it
when we
without
leave.
the wagon. I don't want you to be in pain.
I'm gonna look it up though, Scott. The coolest cooler. I'm gonna check it out.
So, in preparation for going back to school, Santino got his haircut on Saturday, and he hates going to get his haircut. I think just because of all the little hairs that are left behind, they're itchy, whatever. But then, why did our barber, who we love him, like he's a great guy, but he cut his ear, like right here, right in. And then poor guy's over there, looks like he's about to cry, and I see blood, and I'm like, oh, he got cut. What's happening?
So if Grant's watching, Grant, you got one job, bro. One job. Don't cut my kid's ear. It's real simple. Do not cut my kid. I don't want to see any blood at the barber shop.
He said because his skin's so paper thin, and I'm like, okay.
Get the F out of here with that. He's lucky I wasn't there. Because if I was there, I would have been all up in his butt talking all kinds of stuff.
If it's that thin, I mean, he doesn't get cut every other time, but what do I know?
Just apologize, buddy.
Just say, I'm sorry. But poor guy, yeah. So then, of course, he had a sensitive ear to match his sister, so we're dealing with that. And then Chris was busy all day showing property, so the kids and I went to go take a look at another open house over in Stevenson Ranch with this great home. It's beautiful. It's got a huge lot over in Southern Oaks.
That was our homegirls listing, right?
Yes.
Charity Jones.
Charity Jones is listing, and she is so cool. I feel like I've known her forever from her social media. I finally got to meet her in person, spent a good amount of time talking with her, and I was just so surprised. Like, it was a super busy open house, which was great. Then we had a big family dinner where everyone came over. That was fun.
That was fun. I think I got home like minutes before everybody got there.
I know. It was so busy. Well, we had to like rush over because we had a play date after the open house. The kids got to go swimming with their little best friends, Kais and Zaya. And then we ran back over and got ready to cook and prep all the food, which is a lot. It's a big undertaking when you have all your family over. I don't think people realize that.
We don't always have a full house. So usually it's like, it's always my side of the family, but sometimes somebody's sick, somebody doesn't come, right? And then your mom and dad are pretty consistent, but like Lindsay and Alan and the girls don't always come. They probably come like once every 3 or 4 turns.
But everybody was
But
there.
everybody was there. It was so fun. And then we also had like extended family there, right? Like I think Jenny was there with Jude, right? Or
No, they didn't come this week. The week
well,
before.
it felt like there was extended family there.
So Scott said the coolest cooler. It has a blender and radio and big wheels.
What? A blender?
Dang!
All right,
You gotta charge that thing before you go to the beach.
I'm going to have to check it out.
Oh, now we're gonna have all these friends coming to the beach with us finally. Now that we got a built-in blender on our cooler.
They're bringing their own wagons because I'm not pulling this bigger wagon.
That is so funny. So we made it back to Disneyland and California Adventure on Sunday.
It was so hot, you guys. It was like 900 degrees outside.
It was very,
so hot.
very hot. And I have to hand it to you, baby. He did not complain once about the heat. He did so good. He did not complain once about his leg.
She was more worried about me than the kids.
He did so good. Actually, Santino was having a rough time. He's like, it's so hot, Mom. I'm like, I told you it was going to be hot when we got here. But we managed to plan our day in a way in which we're in air condition a lot of the time.
So we
it
were
was
set up
nice.
to go to Disneyland first. We got there like at 12:30. If anybody has like a pass or a key, a magic key, you have to sign up and reserve either park first.
Right.
You can't go to the next park till 1 o'clock. We got there at 12:30. We kind of forgot the rules. So then we had 30 minutes to kill, right? What you didn't see, actually, was we went to the World of Disney. Is that what it's called?
World of Color?
World of Color. Like the little shop right next to the bakery.
Yes, it's in downtown
Disney, right before you hit like Disneyland and California Adventure. And the kids were fighting while you were inside the store. Like we must have been out for like 3 minutes. So like our friend Monica, Daddy don't play neither. So they were arguing and bickering, and I was like, Santino Nola, you're going to cut it out right now. And if you don't, we're going to go, as soon as Mom comes out, we're going home right now. See, a lot of parents say this stuff.
And they never do it.
But I mean it.
They know.
I will take their little butts home, no problem, and they'll be quiet the whole time. They can cry quietly. I like using that one. You better cry quietly.
I love it.
So they were super, like, they just stopped. Done. Attitude shift. They were fine. But you told me that Nola cried in the bathroom later?
Yeah, because
she
we had
told on her
to
daddy?
do a little bathroom break, and she was like about to start crying. And I said, what happened over there? Daddy yelled at me. I was like, why do you think Daddy yelled at you? Because you're acting very ungrateful at the happiest place on earth. Don't you think you should be a little bit more happy and grateful that Mommy and Daddy brought you here? I'm like, okay, don't cry.
I actually didn't even yell at her.
In her mind, if you like just are stern with her, it's yelling.
Yeah. Well, because she used to get spoiled by Daddy, but
Yeah.
Daddy don't play. So anyhow, they shifted really quick. Santino got what he wanted as soon as we went in. We went into great thing when it's really hot, you guys. Anybody that's looking to get on some rides, nobody wants to go to Disneyland when it's really hot.
Yes, it was not crowded at
So
all.
I think a regular wait in Credicoaster was like 15. It said 20 minutes, but it was like more like 10, 15 minutes.
Yes.
We went on that before Corey went on like Jesse's carousel.
Yeah, the critter carousel. They got out at the same time as we did. It was crazy.
So then Santino got to go twice because you took him again.
Yes.
And then I went on my favorite ride in both parks, Ariel's Adventure or
yes.
whatever ride Ariel has. I'm going to tell you why it's my favorite ride. It's right up there with Small World. I get to sit down for like 3 minutes, it feels like, in air conditioning.
Yes.
Oh, my Lord. And the lines were so small, you just go right on the ride.
So nice.
So nice. And I guess there was a bunch of realtors there that day because I ran into Holly Thompson. Shout out to Holly Thompson from Remax. She was like, oh my God, you're like the third realtor I've seen today. So everybody was out there taking Sunday off, going to Disneyland.
Trying to get in all these last moments of joy before our magic keys expire. For those of you who don't know, Disney has not made any comment on whether they're going to allow us to renew our key. And so I'm just trying to get the most out of it before they expire. I'm a little sad about that because I can't book any dates for Halloween and Christmas time, but that's okay. We'll figure out a way. And the biggest plus of this is Chris did not end up needing a mobility scooter. He was telling us and prepping us ahead of time and saying, this is going to be the time. I am going to get the scooter. And he didn't even have to do it.
I thought for sure I was going to need it because I was driving a lot the day before. And just driving, just doing this with my right foot.
Poor guy.
It hurt. My knees like swollen at the end of the day. But the reason we didn't need it is because we took a lot of breaks.
Yes.
In between. Lots of breaks. Some little tips for any parents out there. The dance party at Downtown Disney. I'm not Downtown Disney. California Adventure. And then also drawing the characters. I don't know what that's called.
It's the animation studios.
The animation studios. That's like a good 90 minutes. No, like more like an hour of sitting down in air conditioning.
Yes.
So like those little breaks really help me out.
You need those times to recharge and not get dehydrated when you're out there in the heat. Looks like we had a few comments. Monica said, Alan is at my house right now putting some recess lights up. Oh, tell him we said hi. Hi, Alan. And then Lulu said, it's my favorite too. I think she's talking about the Little Mermaid ride. Yes. So speaking of Chris not needing the scooter, he just got an MRI on Monday for his knee. He was supposed to have an x-ray for his back, but I mean, for some reason, these places don't tell you ahead of time that x-ray technician is a traveling one. It wouldn't be there for your appointment. Like, why?
Because they want you to pay that extra copay.
Yes.
That's what it is.
So annoying.
They want you to pay that extra copay.
They got all these little tricks. They sound just like Disneyland. Get these little extra...
All these corporations are the same.
Oh, my gosh. So he doesn't have the results yet, but we're hoping we find out what's wrong with his knee and his back.
Well, and I did...
Get him fixed up.
The week before, I did blood and urine, too. So I just figured, like, let's raise the hood up and just do all the tests and then see what comes back.
Okay. Well, get him in for that tune-up. So Eric Lazul is here. Hello, future neighbors. Once we move in, I will share the tricks to maximize your Disney trip. Just share them now. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
Put a tip out there, Eric. We would love to see it. So Eric's buying at Williams Ranch.
Oh, hello, future neighbor. Yes, we love Disney. We got a lot of cool little tricks, but I love hearing what everybody else has to share. I'll share some with you too as well. So thanks for joining us. We appreciate the support.
Absolutely.
And we hope you like the show. Much. So while the kids are with grandma,
you got a pedicure.
These
finally.
are the last 3 days they get to spend of their summer break at grandma's house with their cousins, which, I mean,
Today's the last day.
I know this is the last 3 days this past week, and then they go back tomorrow. So I got a little bit of me time put in. I got a pedicure, and then I went and got a facial, which, finally, I get to go get a pedicure and a facial the same day. I never take care of myself, never do stuff like this. I haven't had a pedicure probably like in 8 months, which she reminded me it was a year. So I'm like, oh, finally. But why, ladies? I don't know if you can agree with me. When you go to get your pedicure, they always have some like weird rule or some suggestion when you go to pay. Or there's always something. Oh, you should pay cash instead of use your card. I'm like, why? Oh, it's better cash. I'm like, okay. There's ATM right there. Go get the cash. I'm like, what the heck?
She was using the force.
She used the force on me.
You.
And you don't want to tell them no. They might cut you the next time. Jeez.
I would have went to the ATM. I never go to the ATM.
I ended up going to the ATM and I had to pay $3 to take money out.
Oh my Lord.
So annoyed.
So Eric gave you a tip. He says, do you know about the DAS pass? I do not.
What is the DAS pass?
Or the DAS pass.
DAS, please share.
Please share.
We would love to know.
Never heard of this. So, here we go.
So they don't get charged 3.5% from the credit card companies. Oh, that's why they tell me to go pay them in cash.
Of course.
Oh, so then I got to front the bill?
Yeah, now you paid $3.
And I missed out on my points for my Disney stuff. They don't like paying taxes. That's why I'm going to use my card every single time. I'll be like, no, it's okay. I'm good.
So I felt real bad for Corey because I had to take Nola to a follow-up appointment for her ear, right? And Corey's like, are you sure? I'm just going to cancel this appointment in her facial, which she hasn't got one in so long. I'm like, just go take care of your appointment. I can handle this. I'm just taking her to the doctor.
And I told her, I'm like, I'm not questioning your ability to be an amazing father and take her to the doctor, but I've got that mom guilt all the time. Like, I got to be there for her, and make sure everything's good. And so he's like, just go, I got this. So then I go for the facial, and then like I have it, my phone like on silent. But the lady who does my facials, she's known me forever, and she heard my phone going off. And I think I was in and out of sleep. And she was like, Corey, do you want to get your phone? Because it keeps going. And all I could think about is something's going wrong with Nola, and Chris is trying to get in contact with me. So she brings
for ear checkup, you guys.
the poor
This is where
girl
her
has
mind-
had an ear infection for almost a month now, like, and it wasn't getting better. So I'm a little worried. So I get my phone, I look at it, and I have missed calls from the doctor's office.
For Valencia Pediatrics.
I'm like, why are they calling me? I'm like, uh-oh, maybe he doesn't have his phone, or maybe something bad's happening and he's trying to call me from the doctor's office. So here I am calling him nonstop. He's not picking up. I'm like,
It's bad reception
dude, what the heck?
at the doctor's office.
So I text him, is everything okay? I'm getting calls from the doctor's office. His response, yes. That's it.
What is there to talk about? Yes.
I was
There's no-
like,
I don't need to elaborate
okay,
on that.
Let me just rest. Let me just try to relax.
Because I didn't know the whole backstory. I didn't know she was getting calls from
Oh my
Valencia Peds.
gosh.
I had just got in the car with the kids. So I see a missed call from
Oh,
Corey.
you were already in the car?
I had just got in the car.
Oh, Lord.
so
Sweet
then,
baby Jesus.
yeah, I replied yes. I don't need to tell a story. I look like Teddy
Oh
Ruxpin.
my gosh. So, no, you don't look like Teddy Ruxpin. So yeah, it wasn't very relaxing. I was stressed out the whole time. So Eric said exactly. It's called the disability pass. Well, I don't have a disability. Aren't those reserved for people with disabilities?
I don't know, but we'll find more. We'll find out more about this. So just to let, like Eric with my wife, like my wife won't even jaywalk. So like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe, but for my knee,
For your knee, yes.
I could be doing it. So we'll see.
Switching things up to real estate. This weekend, Chris was showing a lot of property in Ventura County, and there was tons of activity in Moore Park and Thousand Oaks and Simi Valley while he was out showing property. So do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so for anybody that doesn't know, the interest rates actually came down. Even though the Feds raised the rates, interest rates came down on the 30-year fix, or like back in the fours,
Yes.
which they haven't been in a long time. So they were like in the high fives.
Yes.
So I think people are catching on to this. Buyers are catching on to this. And most of the homes that I showed had open houses this weekend. And it felt a little bit finally like summer, where you had, bye Scott.
Bye, Scott.
So it felt like summer where there was traffic at the open house. People were coming in, people were going out as we were there. That's what it should be like.
Yes.
You know, it's not normal to have 50 people at an open house, but it is normal to have like 10 people throughout the whole open house coming and going. So it was nice to see that. I think things are starting to pick up out there.
Yes.
And, you know, I just feel bad for the buyers that are reactive to the market. Because the buyers that are reactive, they got to see their friends buy something before they decide to jump in and buy something. Like, just listen to your realtor. Like, the market's changing. It's a good time to just jump in right now. But who knows what it's going to be 6 months from now.
Right.
And it's really hard. If you're always worried about, like, what's going to happen 6 months from now, you're going to be looking for, like, 6 years.
Right.
You know, and
Right.
I've seen that happen with people, too. So just, I don't know, when the time's right, the time's right.
That's for sure. And when I was out looking at open houses with the kids, it was so busy. It was at like, this house is $1.7 million, and there was
And it's
people.
busy.
I mean, I had to move out of the way for people to get in and out of certain rooms. And as we were coming in, people were leaving, and as we were leaving, people were going in. So, I mean, it's good to see that it's maybe being a little bit more normal and seeing more activity out there, which was nice. Speaking of activity, we are negotiating an offer on our Sierra Highway listing. We also
So just right before the show, I got in contact with the seller, who's a friend of ours, and we're reducing the price on his place. So we're going from $375 all the way down to $360.
awesome
And
price adjustment there. So anybody sitting around looking at it, this is a great first-time home buyer.
Oh my gosh. It's
Option.
look, if you're renting right now, you're paying a mortgage. It's just not your mortgage. You're paying
That's
your landlord's
right.
mortgage. Why not pay your own mortgage? Jump into something like this. I think we're going to watch the video on this property.
Yes, so this is a great starter home over in Canyon Country off of Sierra Highway.
So it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 795 square feet. So it's pretty roomy, right? It's a top floor unit. So you don't have anybody running over you, right? Hearing the kids, you know, all the noise of pitter patter feet. Not everybody wants to hear that. And it's flooring's all brand new. Kitchen countertops are new. Newer appliances as well. So it's really, and it's a gated community for 360.
That's amazing.
It's like, come on,
Yes.
check out this community. It's up on the hillside, right down the street from the
The new
Canyon Country Community Center.
Yes. Community
So I
center.
said like it was like 28 million the other time. I looked it up. It's actually, they spent $58 million on a community center.
Wow.
Good afternoon. My name's Chris
look,
with
all
Silver
brand new
Realty.
flooring,
Come on in and check
brand
out our
new
newest
paint on the
here in
walls.
Canyon Country.
The stove top is newer. Countertops are brand new. It's clean, moving, ready.
Yes.
For 360, your other option is you can go buy a townhome in Antelope Valley. But if you're living if you're working in the Valley or you're working in LA, it's perfect
Was that
place to be.
stackable washer and dryer new as well?
It's no, it's not new, but it's
Okay.
newer. But it comes with the property.
And then they've got a nice community pool and
Clubhouse, basketball courts. 360, you guys.
Yes, if anyone's interested, please reach out to us. Like I said, we do have an offer on it that's in negotiation, but who knows? Maybe
Yeah,
this
and then
might
we
be an
have
option for you.
right before the show, I got a request from our boy Rene Enriquez. He's going to be showing it.
Oh,
today.
awesome! So we are super excited for that one, and hopefully we could get that into escrow for our sellers. So new house update for us. We may or may not be moving. I don't know.
Well,
Where are we with that?
Well, we got a big thing coming up. So for anybody that's buying new construction, it's called the White Report.
Yes.
Okay, the White Report is the last set of disclosures where you find out a lot of information that you might not already know.
Correct.
For us, a big one with Williams Ranch that we're concerned about, we want to know about, is our community center.
Yes.
Our pool, the wine tasting room, the orchards, right? The vineyard. Like this is what the gates on the community.
This is what attracted us to the community, is all the amenities that they have to offer, and they have not even broke ground on building the pool and the community center yet. And there's talks of it, but we don't know for sure. And they're telling us it may take 2 years for that to happen. So I don't know. It just makes me a little uneasy being a buyer of new construction, because I don't know, are they really going to have it done in 2 years?
So the White Report really it pulls a curtain back on a lot of different things. So we also get to find out about the HOA budget, right? How much is the HOA going to be? Because there's not really a set price. When
Correct.
we first went to go look before they started even selling them, we got a sneak peek because we're agents, right? And we own the brokerage. So we checked it out way before a lot of people. And it was like 200 to 250-ish. And they were saying people that are not behind the gates, which we're not, right? We're going to get a little bit of a break on the HOA.
Correct.
But we haven't seen that as of yet. Like on the MLS, it's weird. Multiple listing service, it says $394. But then on the disclosures, it says $323. And then we were hearing $200, $250. So
There's just a lot of unknowns right now.
we just want to see it all. That's all.
Eric said also they're going to be renovating the aquatic center. I think it started last week. In that video, there was a picture of the aquatic center, the overview picture of it. And yes, they are renovating the aquatic center. And he also said, do you have a copy of the White Report that I could see? We actually
Not
don't
yet.
have the White Report yet. So that is like one of those final things that we get a look at. And if there's things that you agree with, great, you sign off on it. But if there's things that you don't agree with, then at that time you can make your decision whether you'd like to move forward or not.
Whether you'd like to move forward, whether you want to renegotiate something, whatever, that's like your last chance to do anything. You got to decide whether you're moving forward, you're not moving forward, or if you're on the fence, you address the issues,
Right.
that you're concerned about to help you move forward or make a decision. So that White Report should have been out a couple weeks ago. We were into the builder's office, the sales office last week, and they're saying in the next couple weeks, which would be like this Friday or by next Friday, but that's just what we're hearing. So as soon as we find out, I'll make an announcement on our Williams Ranch page that we're all on, and I'll shoot you a personal message too, Eric.
Eric said, okay, perfect. Thanks for the info. Absolutely. So we're speaking of new homeowners, and if you're buying a brand new home. So if you're a homeowner and you were the original homeowner, you might have some warranties that you have forgotten about. And I think a lot of people just, forget about these minor little things. And we're actually getting a bunch of our windows replaced on our home because we bought it brand new. And, sometimes there's all these little builder defects that happen over time. You can't move the window up all the way, or maybe the seal in between the double window panes have broken. You get that like fog all over it. So I'm super excited because finally we've been there since 2007.
15 years.
We're getting a few windows replaced tomorrow. So if anybody if you own your home and you're the original homeowner and you need some help, call us up. We don't mind pointing you in the right direction to help you get some things done on your home that may still be covered under home warranty.
I mean, how cool is that? 15 years since we bought the home. We're going to have 2 windows replaced for free. 3.
And actually, because the windows have the lifetime warranty. So there are certain components in your home that, are protected for a lifetime. So that's pretty cool. Eric said, I will punch Craig to make sure to get it to me as well. Oh, yeah.
Come on, Craig.
Come on, Craig.
Craig's one of my favorites in there. I've known him for, 10 plus years.
He's a cool guy.
I think he was at Richmond, America or something like 10 plus years ago in the Valley when I first met him.
Yes, he's a cool guy. So looking ahead for next week, so tonight we have back to school night for our kids. And I'm so excited to find out who Santino is going to be getting for his teacher. It's really weird this year. I guess they're not posting a list of who's in each classroom for privacy issues. So I have to wait till 4:00 to log on. It's like a lottery system to find out who he got for his teacher. And then tonight when we got to go visit and meet with the teacher. And we already know that Nola got Mrs. Johnson, who is amazing.
We love Miss Johnson.
Yes, we do. We love Melissa Johnson. So we get to see them tonight. And it's so cute because Santino has been reassuring his sister this morning. You weren't in the kitchen, but he said, Nola, we're going to the same school. And you know what? I know you're going to be going on this one playground, and I'll be out there too. I know Mrs. Johnson always goes there, so I'll come and say hello to you.
Oh, so sweet. He's such a great big brother.
I know, he's watching out for her. So, and then after back to school night, they get to go to school Thursday, Friday. And then this weekend, we have a huge first birthday party to go to.
Yes.
Our best friend's baby girl, who's also we call her our niece, but I mean, it's not by blood, but little baby Skylar is turning 1, so we get to go celebrate her. I'm so excited. She's the cutest.
She's a little doll. Mm-hmm. So it's gonna be hot.
It's gonna be very hot.
We'll be ready.
Mm-hmm. And then Chris is playing golf next week.
Playing golf tomorrow.
Are you?
So, all the parents are like, oh, I got to be there the first day of school. Like, sorry, I'm not going to make it, kids.
You're not?
I'll be there to pick them up.
Dang. All right.
They know how to they've been to that school. They'll be fine.
Oh, my Lord.
So
this guy.
We can take the pictures before.
I'll take a picture for you, and I'll text it to you while you're on the course, and then you can look at it.
They're going to be in therapy when they're in high school, and they're saying, Dad wasn't there.
I know, new school for Nola, first time on campus. I mean, hey.
It's not her first time on campus. She's been to that school many times to pick up Santino.
Oh, not for herself.
For events. She'll be fine.
She'll be all right. Boo.
And she knows the teacher already.
So anyways, everybody, we hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. That is going to be our show today. Thank you again for hanging out with us here on R&R Relationships and Real Estate. Be sure to check us out here weekly on Facebook Live, and we go on at noon. We're your hosts, Corey and
Chris Silva.
And we'll catch you next week. Bye.
Bye.